Hi there, my name is Marco. In this video I'm going to show you how to replace your terminal app with WezTerm, a really cool terminal emulator. We will be using Homebrew to install this. Okay, let's begin. This is a fresh install of macOS Sonoma. Let's bring up terminal app. I'm going to use Spotlight for that. I'm going to make the text larger so you can see it better. Let's run a few commands. List a directory, maybe in a list form. Make it full screen. I want to have more fun with my terminal. So I want to replace terminal app with WezTerm, a really cool terminal emulator. To do this, we're going to install Homebrew, a package manager for macOS. Installation is really easy. Go to brew.sh, just copy this little command, go back to your terminal, paste the command, press enter. Then you have to put in your password, confirm, press enter again. Homebrew needs the Xcode command line tools. On my fresh install, I didn't have this. This might take a little while. After a few minutes, we're back. Homebrew is installed. Just copy and paste these 3 lines and execute them. Now you should be able to use Homebrew. The command for that is brew. Let's try if it worked. Seems to be okay. So we want to install WezTerm. As we can see, there's a command called brew search. So let's try this. Brew search WezTerm. Yay, we found it. So let's install it. So far you've seen macOS running in a virtual machine. Since WezTerm is GPU accelerated, we're gonna switch to my real macOS installation now, because GPU acceleration doesn't work on the parallels. I switched to my real macOS installation now, so let's install WezTerm. The command for that is brew install --cask WezTerm. Let's do this. This could take a little while. Alright, we have WezTerm installed. So let's open it up and see what it looks like. Close up this terminal and let's start up WezTerm. I'm gonna use Alfred for that. This is a macOS security thing. Because you downloaded this app from the internet via Brew, you have to confirm that you really want to open it. Okay, WezTerm. You might think this doesn't look that much better than terminal app, right? And I would agree with you. Let's make the font a little bit bigger so you can see it better. This doesn't look really great, right? So we're going to configure it. Just hang in there a little bit longer. Oh, what I forgot to tell you. By default, Brew collects some analytics data. If you don't want that, you can disable this quite easily. Simple command here and you're done. Let's check if this analytics thing worked. No analytics anymore. Now we're going to install a nerd font. Nerd fonts are patched fonts with a large number of glyphs. These glyphs can be used for fun stuff in the terminal, cool folder icons or indicating file types, stuff like that, all in the terminal. Let's use Brew to find JetBrains mono nerd font. Just do a brew install --cask. Alright, this is the WezTerm documentation. WezTerm is configured using a Lua configuration file. We just need to create this Lua configuration file in a home directory. I'm just going to paste my config file right now. Gonna save it and now just restart WezTerm. Ah, nice. That looks better. Okay, let's reopen the file and just go through it line by line. Okay, I'm gonna make this full screen. The theme we now see is Tokyo Night. WezTerm comes with a lot of pre-installed themes. This little function is a little helper function that switches the theme depending on the theme setting in macOS. So if I just quickly switch to a light theme, you see this switches over. And also back again. You could also just set the theme to a static one. This pulls in the WezTerm API. We create this config table, initialize our actual config, and then set the options. We set the font to the font we installed earlier, configure its size, set the color scheme. We use the helper function to set this value, but you can just put in Tokyo Night or whatever you want here. This option hides the window decorations around this window. Really nice looking. You can still resize the window. You can also drag it around, and if you want to do it in the middle, press Ctrl-Shift. This hides the tab bar you saw before. If there's only one tab, disable macOS native full screen mode and add a single key binding. WezTerm has really sane default key bindings that I quite like and really don't need to change much. Ctrl-Shift-Space gets captured by something else on my system, so I just reconfigured it to Ctrl-Shift-A. It's a really cool function, so you shouldn't miss out on quick select. In the end, you return the config table and that's it. So with a really minimal configuration, you get a really nice looking terminal, and it's also super functional. You can split the window in vertical or horizontal directions. Hot reload feature is also very nice. Change this font size and save this. It reloads as soon as you save. Let's change it to 18. Let's close up the config. Quick select mode is a really nice feature of WezTerm. Press the shortcut for quick select mode And you see, certain tokens in your terminal get prefixed with letters, like these container IDs or these file paths. If I now press the prefix of this container ID, so the letter D, this is copied into my clipboard. So if I want to stop this container, I can just do docker stop and paste. And I don't have to type in this cryptic hash. With quick select mode, you're just able to select certain tokens, but not everything. So if I activate it again, here are timestamps, some of the sizes. So I just could copy last modified time of downloads with Q. But there's also copy mode. Control-Shift-X activates copy mode. You don't see anything, but now I can move my cursor around with arrow keys or with Vim bindings, so HJKL. You can also use other Vim motions, so if you are familiar with Word or backwards Word or something like that, you can move around quite quickly. Also HLM works, Control U, Control D, all this stuff works. So let's say I want to copy screen recordings. I press Control-Shift-X, I go up 2 times, a few W's and I'm back here. Then I can press V like in Vim for visual mode. And then I can press EE, Y, so I can paste this now. So copy mode, also a really nice feature. There's still so much we can do to improve our terminal experience. Let's just install 2 ZSH plugins. And we don't even need a plugin manager for that. We can just brew search ZSH. 2 of my favorite plugins are ZSH auto suggestions and ZSH syntax highlighting. So let's just install them. Brew, install ZSH auto suggestions. Let's add ZSH syntax highlighting and fire it off. Okay, so installation of these 2 plugins is finished. Sometimes after installing something with Brew, there are some caveats. Brew tells you that you have to do additional steps to complete the installation correctly, or it gives you hints like this if you get some error that you can do something to circumvent that. In this case, to activate the 2 plugins we just installed, we have to add 2 lines to our ZSHRC. This one and this one. This gives us the opportunity to use quick select mode again. Hit the shortcut for quick select mode, so Control-Shift-A. And you see we can copy these file paths with D and S. We'll do the first one, type D, then we'll add it to our ZSHRC via echo and redirection to files. So we'll do an echo source, then the path we just copied. Add this to the end of our ZSHRC. We'll do the same with the other paths. Quick select mode, F, then we'll do echo source, paste. We can now source the ZSHRC, or we can just restart the terminal or open a new pane or a new tab. Let's just try to open a new pane. Now we should have syntax highlighting and auto suggestion. So I will type ls. This is highlighted in green. And the auto suggestion also works, this gray part at the end. So if I press right arrow now, this completes the auto suggestion. This works based on your history, so it's very useful. Okay, these 2 plugins are very cool. Another cool thing is a better prompt. To be cool, we need some tool that is written in Rust, right? We will install Starship, a cross-platform shell prompt written in Rust that gives us more information out of the box, and you can really customize it to your liking. We won't do that in this video, but the basic prompt is also very cool. We can use brew again, brew, install Starship. We have to do some additional configuration. Let's look at the homepage of Starship. Cross-shell prompt. Minimal, blazing fast and infinitely customizable prompt for any shell. Wow, some big promises, I guess. There's also version control stuff. You see on which branch in Git you are, stuff like that. And you can configure it even more, but we need the init script to our shell's config file. So we are using Z shell. We need this in our ZSHRC. So we copy this, go back to our terminal, open ZSHRC, and let's add this, save and quit, and open a new pane, I guess. There you see, this is colored in my .files repository. It's a Git repository. We see we are on branch main, and also there's some Git status things. We can have a look at it. Git status. We can also zoom panes with Control-Shift-Z. So this takes up the complete terminal window. You can toggle this. Nice. Quite handy sometimes. We have a modified file and we have some untracked files. I just wanted to show you that our prompt is more useful now. So we could create a new directory, then cd into it, touch a C file, hello.c. Starship is aware that we are in a directory where C source code files are and tells us about it here. We could also do like Java or something. So quite useful. What I also like is better ls. ls is a nice tool, but it lacks a few features. There are some new replacements for ls. One of those tools is ESA. Let's install it. Here, our terminal, brew, install ESA. whatever. Let's compare ESA's and Aliases output. Alias is quite boring. ESA is very colorful. Also, there are additional options you can use. Since we have this cool nerd font with the glyphs, you can use this and we see, oh, this is an Apple specific file, or this is a Git directory. So we get icons for that. Also, there's a tree functionality built in. So let's create an alias to replace alias with ESA. We simply do alias ls ESA. So if we now type ls, then ESA is called. But if we open a new shell, this doesn't work anymore. So we have to also put this in our dot files. I put it in zshrc. Let's open it again. I use a few aliases for ESA. Maybe it's a bit excessive, but I will just paste it in here. So you see, I have quite a few. I get tons of functionality with these few aliases just for ESA, and I use them all the time. Let's see them in action. Save this file, source this file manually so we don't have to open a new pane or restart. So now if I say L, we see icons, and if I do LL, we have it in a list with icons. If I do LTA2, for example, LTA2, T is for tree and A is for all, and 2 is 2 levels deep. So if I do this, we get this tree structure here. A really nice overview. And also if we don't limit the level just to LTA, then we go full depth and we see everything in there. See, there's quite a few files in there. So I like to limit the level to 2 or 3 most of the time. If you're still watching this, thank you so much. This was my first video and it was really awkward recording myself and talking to myself like this. Let's hope next time it'll be easier and a little bit more structured maybe. I'm planning on making a complete series on how to customize your macOS experience with stuff like tiling window managers, a custom status bar, tmux, NeoVim, tutorials in all that kinds of areas, cool command line tools, stuff like that. So I hope I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, then hit the like button. If you really like this video, then subscribe also. I will put a link in the description below to a blog post with more detailed description of all the things we've done here. Also, there will be a link to my dot files where some more configuration is already done, and maybe you can get some ideas of what's to come in the future here. Stay tuned for more content, and thank you. See you around.